All right, so for sufficient assumptions, do you remember how I showed you that strength spectrum of an argument and how the goal of a valid argument is to get to the rock?
Yeah.
And so if I said it's hot outside, therefore we should get ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Our premise is it's hot outside, and our conclusion is we should get ice cream. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not a valid argument, right? Because whenever it's hot out, it being hot outside is not sufficient. So sufficient just means enough.
Okay.
I really need to get a better way to draw. Sufficient is enough. I like to also look at it sufficient ends in the T, so it's kind of like the trigger because sufficient is always on the left side. So if we were doing an argument, the sufficient would be over here. We'll get to that in a
Okay.
second. So sufficient is enough, but it being hot outside is not sufficient enough to get ice cream, but it's not a terrible argument. So on our spectrum, we put it here. And so far, we've worked on strengthen and weaken questions where whenever we did strengthen questions, we were trying to add a premise that just got us
Mm-hmm.
closer to the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we did weaken questions, we were trying to add a premise that got us farther away from a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with sufficient assumption questions, we're trying to add a premise that gets us all the way to the rock.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
instead of,
even more than strengthen?
yes,
Okay.
exact, perfect. So I call these super strengthen questions. And
Okay.
so how strengthen starts with S, strengthen questions start with S, sufficient starts with S, so does stronger. So we still want
Okay.
stronger answer choices. So the difference
Okay.
between the two is if I was just going to strengthen this argument, I might add the premise that I have a gift card. If I have a gift card to get ice cream, doesn't it strengthen our argument that we should get ice cream?
Yeah.
But does having a gift card, is that sufficient or is that enough to guarantee that I have to get ice cream?
No.
No. So what I could say here that would be sufficient is whenever it's hot outside, we must get ice cream. That would get
Mm-hmm.
us all the way to the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so another one would be if I said, I'm from Ohio, that's my premise. Therefore, I hate Michigan. What? So I'm going to say it's an average argument. What premise could you add to this argument to get us all the way to the rock?
Um, I hate Michigan because Ohio is better. Oh, how do we
That
prove
would
that
strengthen
though?
it. That would strengthen it. What do we need to say about people from Ohio? Because I'm just saying, I'm from Ohio, therefore I hate Michigan. We want to add a new premise that guarantees this.
Okay. Um, what will we say? We will say
What do we need to say about all people from Ohio?
they're more polite.
And that's why we hate Michigan?
Michigan people are not polite.
Think very simple. Remember how I said whenever it's hot outside, we must get
I
ice
must.
cream.
So if I'm from Ohio, I must hate Michigan.
Yeah. Or what? Yeah, that would work. Or all people, if we said all people, I don't like that drawing, all people from Ohio hate Michigan,
Mm,
then doesn't that guarantee that if all people from Ohio hate Michigan, doesn't that guarantee if I'm from Ohio, then I will hate Michigan?
yeah. Okay.
Fabulous.
Okay. Yeah. It's
So
funny because like you try to make sense of the.
what if I said all people that walk to school have straight A's?
So everyone that walks to school must have A's.
All students that walk to school do have A's. This is the premise. All people that walk to school have A's.
So if you
Charles,
have an A, you must walk to school.
wait, hang on one second. Therefore, hold on. Okay, so no, my premise is just that My premise is all people, so my premise, so this is just a fact. All people, so this is just true, all people that walk to school have all A's. It's just true. Like if you walk to school, you have all A's. Guarantees it. It doesn't make sense, right? Logically, but in this world, if you walk to school, you have all A's. And then I'm going to say, therefore, Charlie has all A's. Is this alone with just this premise a valid conclusion? That Charlie has all A's?
No.
No. We don't know anything. But what premise could we add to this argument that would guarantee that this conclusion gets to the rock?
Charlie must walk to school, therefore he has an A.
Yes, if Charlie walks to school, if we add that premise that Charlie walks to school, then we can guarantee that he has all A's because all people that walk to school have all A's. Excellent.
Okay. Okay.